Well, I'm hoping that you hear me because I'm not sure if my mic is on or not. But we're just going to roll with it as it is, like we usually do here in the jungle, here on my channel, more than just orchids. So, today is Sunday, fairly mild day. It's about 2 o'clock. Thank you, Cole. Thanks for stopping by. Just going to do a little walkthrough, talk about what I've been doing this weekend so far. Starting out here, still waiting slowly for my Gongora here. One second, I'll be right back. One second. All right. So, yeah, it's waiting on this Gongora. It's taking its sweet time, but the buds are developing quite nicely. Very, very long spike. So that should be happening probably this week. That is Gongora rufescens. Hey there, Ron. Um, this is where I have my jungles over here. This is a goner for sure. Yeah, that's a goner. But I do have another one, Elf times a Clandii, which still doing okay. This one, Elf times Mueller, still doing okay. And I know this is another elf up here that it doesn't have a tag. It's still doing okay. Oh, I've got a lot like that. I brought some of my encyclias over here that are hopefully they will recover. But so far it looks like it's not going to. You can see the base of the bulbs are all brown. It's kind of sad. And then there's this that is falling apart as we speak. You can see those leaves. Just so that's a goner. That's a beauty that I don't. I can get another one of those if I chose. But other things over here are looking fairly good. I did notice on this plant that there is a sheath right here. And this is Yong Kong Sun. So that'll be really big. Cattleya. This is my other Borinjana. That's got that growth. This has two new growths on my. I see your chat. Yeah, can you hear me? Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry. Let me look. Oh, I see. Hey, Kathy, I got it. I got you, Cole. In fact, I'm uploading my orchid today, my orchid video in Orchid a Day, and it's going to feature my Brassavolas. I already watered them. I shot a nice video and kind of did an overview of some of my species and my hybrids. This is one primary hybrid that I've been showing. It's been open for a few days now. That's my Miyaka Stars. It's a primary hybrid. I've shown that plenty. My species back here has got the buds on them right there. That's my Drosophila perenne, which is my favorite. My Richard Mueller, of course, it's going out. It's going out. Um, but yeah, I stay tuned, Cole. I've got yeah, I don't have a Mary Dobson. I struggle with the clandii, but I try to grow it. That's probably why I have issues with the jungle because it has a clandii in it. But yeah, I've got all of these hybrids. But stay tuned for my An Orchid a Day video because I pull some of them out, and well, they're already soaking in my bucket here. Um, so yeah, that I'll be uploading that later on today. So that should be available, and I kind of talk about my care and everything. This is doing really well. This is another Brassavola hybrid that is, it's got some fancy name to it, but it's basically Mount Hood times Cuculata. And I mounted it on this early this spring, and the roots have already attached. They've gone through the whole through the back. But you can see it gave me this new growth, which has matured, and then it's giving me another new growth. Yeah, it's looking very good. A lot of my Brassavolas are. This is my Kiwani Mendenhall that's got a sheath on it. So that's looking really nice. I've got this one back here. It's got a few sheaths on it. This is due for a nice blooming. It didn't bloom for me last year. It did the growths rotted at the end of the season. So if we start to get some rain, I'm going to pull that inside. That's what's happened with that one. This Sangracum is really looking very, very nice. Let me move this a little bit. This is a cross. Linford White Beauty times Magdaleni. And there are new roots coming out in places. This is generally the time that it would be blooming if it was going to bloom. So maybe it's still another year or so off. Um, this Angraecum, well, this is a Sertorchis. That root finally made it to the mount. And it's got that root, and it's got another little something going on at the base down there. That's a new little growth coming out down there. So that is nice. That's not nice. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it didn't get enough water. I don't I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a different kind of thing happening here than this stuff. This is more fungal. This is more fungal. All of this, all of this is fungal. And these have been sprayed with fungicides, and I'll probably cut that off once I notice that it stopped. Um, but this is something different. And the leaves are still, they're not falling off. But unfortunately, it is doing that on all of the growths, which is terrible. So anyway, good, bad. Um, Before we go in there, let me see if there's anything else out here that I can show you. Those two spikes are still doing okay. That Vanda type. This will be a reblooming for me. Cute little thing. Um, of course, this is something new, a new epidendrum. It's a species. Polyanthum is the name. Flowers are going out. Definitely going out. It's a Spathoglotis. More buds coming. Got to water. I use I'll think of it in a minute. It's pretty popular. What is it? Yeah, I'll think of it in a second. Uh, Let me walk in here. Yeah, let's walk in here. I finally got my screen up. It's kind of ridiculous when you have to spray yourself with mosquito spray in order to spend some time in the greenhouse. But, I just repotted these things. The new growth is kind of fallen over. It's kind of to be expected, but the canes still seem to be firm, which is okay. I'm not going to fret about that. My Phalaenopsis are all looking really good. I'm about to. Are we here? Yeah, my Phalaenopsis look great. I'm about to get some flowers here on this. Lots of little flowers that are coming up on the plant. Lots of buds. Buds right there. And this is a kiki right here that's just hanging off of the main plant. And that has buds as well. That's what I just showed you. This is the same plant. This is what that is, fasciata. But for my, let me see if I have Physan. Physan 20, that's what I use for fungicide. These flowers are still slowly taking their time. The fragrance really is more, it's not as sweet as what I thought it would be. It's actually um, more like powdery, if that makes any sense. It's not really sweet at all, but still a lot of flowers, some spent, still pretty long lasting. Got that Scottianum bloom. I've got this spike, two spikes going down there. Maybe some of those buds will last to get some blooms. My Dimorphorcus is looking really good. It's got that nice root there. It's got probably a new growth or a new little baby kiki. I'm not. Surely it's not a spike, so that's got to be a kiki. Um, yeah, not much else going down here. Just getting another little baby growth here, down there at the base, peeking out. Right in there, there's a little growth. Am I showing it? Maybe not. But there's another little, there it is, right there, little baby growth. This is my Daichia glauca. So, what else? Probably another bud happening on this Phalaenopsis. whichever that is. Oh, and this one that I'm probably, I don't know, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. That bud is progressing, pushing out. Uh, and of course, there's my Vita Lee that's got a bud right there. Now, look, just when I say that it was putting out a root, what did I tell you? As soon as I pay attention to the plant and give it some praise that it's doing good, the next day I come out and it's dead. All of a sudden, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Here's some more Brassavolas over here. This is Petite Stars, and it's got, I'm assuming that's a sheath in there, although I suppose it could be another leaf. These typically don't have two leaves. That should be a sheath. And here's a nodosa that's got a new growth maturing there, and then I just noticed there's another growth down there. So there's some more Brassavolas. Anyway, yeah, baby powder isn't so bad. But this is something else that's really, really good. There is a new leaf coming out, and that is my Phalaenopsis cornucervi, the fantastic one that I complained to Normans about, and they sent me another one, and that one ended up being really bad as well. And then I cut the top part of the plant off, threw the other part away, and this is actually has saved itself. So hopefully there's some more roots down going on down in there, but I think it's going to be okay. Those spikes are still on the plant that were there, and even this one, although I can't see how it's going to do anything because the base of it is brown, so that's really strange. But yeah, my Phalaenopsis are doing great. This one's probably going to give me some blooms pretty soon. That'll be a first time bloom for me. This is my Corningana, minty grape flavor, and it's putting out that. That looks like it's budding out to me. And a new leaf as well. So that is good, good, good all around. And that's pretty much it that's going on in here, I think. Yeah, I'm still moving stuff from in here out there. Although I've left those Brassavolas over there for some reason. This is gonna bloom as well. It's pushing forth from that sheath. These still take a long time, although this is gonna be the biggest blooming that this has given me since I've had it. It did skip last year. Last year, Spike aborted itself for the first year, and it is in semi-hydro. It's very top heavy. You can see it's just wanting to tip over, but you can see how fat the cane is compared to all the previous year's canes. I mean, it blew up this year. Look at that. So it should be giving me a lot of flowers, a lot of flowers. This is my Volcano Trick Fireball. So that's good. Good, good, good. This is also another good thing. There's those two buds. This is going to be pretty. Savala perennial crossed with Cattleya chocolate drop. That's going to be really nice. And this new growth over here is still progressing really nicely. You can see it has bloomed off of every new growth. Every new growth has bloomed. So that's a nice plant. Nice roots. And this is my Laelia anceps. And that's a sheath right there. And I tried to prop this one up. So hopefully this one will continue to grow up. But you can see it's just Floppy, floppy. Don't ever give up, Ron. Don't ever give up. If you're talking about blooms, I would say, well, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't assume what you're talking about. Having hope. I'd say light is the first thing I would try. Light, and then humidity, perhaps. Perhaps everybody's. I don't know. Things take time. It really takes a long time for these things to grow up. Well, what's your situation? So, what are you having difficulty with? What have you, is it, okay, what is your history? This is difficult to do when you're typing, but what are you having trouble blooming? Surely not everything. Maybe cattleyas. I would say cattleyas, try outside and just try, uh, you start them out in a shade, in a shady location, and then you gradually move them out to where they are getting more sun, and you can tell if they're getting too much sun, if their leaves get a little like that. 200 orchids. Well, I probably only have 12 blooming, and I've got 500. So I don't know. Surely that's not the way that it is all the time, or maybe they're just babies. It does require a whole lot of patience, and that's one thing I would say. Patience, really. But I'm just making assumptions. You can feel free to tell me more. Send me an email, and I'll maybe we can communicate better. Maybe give me a. I'll tell you what. Why don't you just shoot me an email with, you know, explain where you grow your orchids, what your exposure is, your humidity, both in the summer and the winter, your fertilizer regime, how often you water. Tell me about, just give me a general idea of the kind of orchid you grow, and shoot me all of that in an email. Tell me what you've had success with, what you haven't, and I'm sure, hopefully, this isn't too much work for you. But then I'll make a video and I'll try to address some of your questions the best that I can. Bear in mind that I am no expert, but I have, I progressed to this environment. If I could walk straight through here, I could show you where I used to grow, like everyone else, on their kitchen sink. And then I progressed to my porch. It was just a screen-in porch, but it wasn't heated. And then I eventually moved from there into here. So I've got a lot of experience with different environments and things like that. But I really never experienced the level of blooming until I moved them outside in the summer. And that's the honest truth. They did okay in here, but for the most part, when I put them in there in the wintertime, for the most part, they're just resting the majority of the time. Even though this past winter I have been doing a little bit more, fertilizing them, staying on top of that, and making sure they. But for the most part, having them out in the summer for that little window really is what has made my plants so much stronger and um, growing a lot faster. So that's just, they grow slow. And anyway, patience. But yeah, you can find my email in my old videos, or it's just tdmore15 at Yahoo. And I'll be happy to devote a video to, answering your question for sure. For sure. Especially, if you have 200, that's a big investment right there, and you want to be as successful. and everybody wants to see blooms. So these are some new orchids. Well, not this one, but again, I think that's just, maybe that's just the way that the leaf comes out because it was completely almost white, opaque. Well, but maybe it is rotting a little bit. You never know. We will see. Anyway, that's a bulb. It looks like something, or maybe that's just on the, no, it looks like a root. Good. That is newly mounted. Well, I've done that too. I've done that too. Trust me. And I have little portable humidifiers and you know just growing them on pebbles, pebbles in the tray to get the humidity up, whatever it takes. Uh, so yeah, I'll be happy to do that. And anyone else, honestly, this is going to be nice pretty soon. Another Galliandra with the buds progressing. I'm sure you can see that. Looks like there's two so far. So this is looks like it's going to give me more flowers open at once. This is generally successive bloomer. This is the Galliandra that just finished blooming. Um, and so typically you can see how it first bloomed from this spike and then it put up another behind it. That's typically how it blooms. And it could possibly be developing another one inside here without me even knowing it. And then it'll just all of a sudden shoot out some flowers. Hey there, Denise. Hey, hey, hey. But yeah, I am really waiting anxiously on that. Really, really. Yeah, Denise, you were wanting, I think you said you were wanting this. I think, probably. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much, but I am pretty pleased with, pretty pleased with the way that, you know, despite the ones that are bad, and there are other casualties. There are other casualties. These up here probably won't make it, although they might. Those leaves still feel a little bit firm. So we will see, and possibly it's getting a little bit too much sun here. This anosmum cross certainly doesn't look like it likes it, but these down here seem to be keeping their color. Hey, Louisville. Well, feel free to send me an email, tdmore15, and I'll definitely do a little video and try to play doctor, even though you're putting your questions in the hands of not the you know I can only offer uh, my perspective, and that might not be what works, but I've had to, it takes a lot of moving around and to find a sweet spot, especially when you have 200 orchids and you're trying to grow them in the same spot, and probably most of them, well, not say most of them, but some of them have differing cultural requirements. So that's what I had to deal with, and I used to grow a lot more things. I used to grow oncidiums and I used to grow cymbidiums and geez Louise, I can't imagine. I used to grow a lot of Miltonia, those intergenerics. I used to love those, and I still miss them sometimes. Those Hawaiian sunset, I think there's one called Hawaiian sunset, Miltonidium or something that smells so beautiful, like honey when it's in bloom, but it's such a pain to grow. But I miss that. So, yeah, I can tell you how to kill a plant. This is another thing that just all of a sudden just decided to die, and it was putting up this really, really nice new growth, two new growths, in fact. And this is the rest of the plant that's just on its side over here. So, yeah, yeah, it's anyway. Yeah, cymbidiums, it's like they just want to, it's like scale flies to them and then spreads from there. I say that jokingly, but that's how I feel. It was a scale magnet. I mean, this cymbidium stayed out all most of all winter, and I think there might be a touch of scale, but it's not enough to really worry about. And I'm not worrying about it because I don't care anymore. I shouldn't be like that, but I've got so many other things that want to grow. Why deal with something that is blooms for me every 5 years and then attracts bugs like a magnet? So that's my opinion. Very strong opinion over here. My Magdalene eye is over there tucked in, still looking very healthy and nice. Um, yeah, that's about it. That's about it for sure, I think. But yeah, stay tuned for that Brassavola video for sure. I am uploading it, and it is actually my orchid a day for today. Um, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for these. And if Sharon is watching today, I'm gonna cut off this plant today and stick it in the mail for Sharon Short. So yeah. Another thing that's kind of funny is this plant, since it bloomed for me and since I mounted it on this, put up one of these growths for me. But then from that point on, it started just going down. But it's not totally down. It's still standing up. And all of a sudden, I get to seeing that it's putting out these nubbins, probably a kiki. And then there's one here. And then look at this dendrobium that I did not throw away. This has been sitting here all summer. This is a Lasianthera cross with blue twinkle, and these bulbs have been hanging down here the whole year. And look, so surely that's going to be a kiki. Surely, 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 surely. So yeah, funny, 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 funny. These orchids do funny things. This is really good as well. This was late coming alive after winter, and all of a sudden it burst out with all of these new roots, and it's giving me that looks like another little kiki because this is the main growth plant, and this just happened this last week. So I hope that's maybe going to be another plant. That would be great, but it is really well, not really down here. I should probably cut those roots off, but it's really popping out the roots up above, up top, which is nice. And it's got another leaf coming out there. See, it did have crown rot, but it recovered nicely. Yeah, see, it had crown rot, and then it's putting out that new leaf. So, didn't all the way die. And this little leptotes that I got from Orchid Trail is giving me a nice new growth all through there. That's nice. And these little hitchhikers are still alive, whatever that unknown. That's got to be a Tolomnia, whatever that is. I have no idea. It's got to be a Tolomnia. It's still got green roots on it. And I put a piece of that there. That's a piece off of this Dendrobium oligophyllum, probably. But anyway, folks, that's pretty much all I got for today, I think. But yeah, stay tuned for that Brasava video. I'm kind of proud of it. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, wherever you are in the world. And I will talk to you soon. But make sure you send tdmore15 at yahoo.com, and I would be happy to answer all your questions. Explain if you didn't hear, explain your collection. Give me a general idea of what you grow, what you're having problems with blooming. Explain to me how you grow them in the summer, how you grow them in the winter, and um, then we'll take it from there. How you feed them, how often do you feed them, all of that, the humidity. Let me know, and I will make a video. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching again. Enjoy your orchids. Bye.